Okay, at last, it's time for Nightfall Unlimited, the podcast, episode 16. You're just joining us, but we've been sitting here trying to get everything straight for about an hour now. So,
yeah.
Without wasting any more of everyone's evening, let me welcome my buddy Ray. What's up?
Hello, everyone.
Not much. We've been talking about different things today, but at the top of the show, you said you wanted to talk about the comic Red One. Is that right?
It just came out today. It is. You see it?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. So anyway, this is it takes place in the 70s. It's supposedly the answer to Lady Killer. Image's answer, and it takes place in the 70s during the Cold War, and it's about a female assassin. And I've only gotten a couple pages into it because of all the technical difficulty today. And so far, it's cool. I love the artwork. It's Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson, and it's so far so good. I thumbed through most of it. I can't wait to read the rest of it. Elizabeth read it and said it was really good. So, it's totally different from Lady Killer so far, though. So. I don't know if it's the answer, but anyway, go get it. It's out.
So a comic recommendation right there at the top of the show. Moving on down the line here is our friend Josh. How you doing, sir?
I am okay. I guess that's the only way to describe the day so far.
Despite all your other recent adventures, you just recently escaped a gas leak. Please tell us.
I actually never got to experience the gas leak. I pulled up to the parking lot at work, and everyone's standing outside. So for those of you that don't know, I work in a factory downtown. They make peaches.
In a factory. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, it's coming to me.
Yeah, okay. So I pull up, and everyone from second shift is standing outside. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Turns out there was a gas leak. Fork truck driver was carrying too much material, hit an overhead heater, and busted a gas line loose. The plant was evacuated for about an hour. And then they sent us back and told us to get back to work within 3 minutes of the all clear being signaled. So, yes, I work for a bunch of, assholes.
That's all the time they took to clear.
They took about an hour. They sounded an all clear, and they expected everyone to be back at their jobs within 3 minutes. It was fantastic.
See, I would have thought people would die in that circumstance.
Well, I don't know how long it took them to fix the gas leak and how long it took them to actually get the gas out of the building. So.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how that works. Okay, well, let's not talk any more about that, lest they send somebody after you. Next, I'll say hey to Brett. How's it going?
It's good. Well, kind of. It's been a long day.
I notice a trend. You usually say that it's going well and then stop yourself and tell us it's not going well.
Yeah. Story of my life.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's a sad story.
Lots of stuff from you lately. Tell us about your mailbox.
Okay, so for those who don't know, I DJ on Saturday nights at a bar. And we came home from the bar, and our mailbox is laying by our boat.
What?
Go on.
So we just kind of stare at it for a moment, and neighbor comes over, and she tells us, yeah, I don't know what happened, but when I got home, there was a cop bringing your mailbox up to your yard. So I'm like, okay. So go inside, lay down and everything. My dog starts barking up a storm. Look out the window, sheriff's office. He's like, yeah, I just want to let you know that your mailbox was torn out of the ground. And apparently there was a fight at the intersection down the street. And in the process, my mailbox got dismantled. Now, I don't know if it was just barreled over, or if somebody decided to take a mailbox out of the ground and beat a guy with it.
Yeah, used it as a foreign object, sure.
Ding, ding, ding.
Maybe I've just been watching too much wrestling. I don't know. But
no
that's
DQ on that one.
So Monday, I got to pour concrete into the mailbox hole and put a mailbox in.
Wow. Torn out during a fight. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's way better than the other story I thought you were going to tell.
Yeah, we also wanted to hear real quickly about your DJ customers.
Oh, yeah, they're ignorant.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Look, I'm not going to chastise people for their taste in music, because I have a pretty crappy taste in music sometimes. And
Most times.
Pearl Jam, enough said. Anyway, if you're going to sit there and complain about me playing slow songs that have been requested, don't come up 2 minutes later and ask me to play a slow song. Until you give me $5, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Look, Mr. Lincoln wants to hear this song too.
I got tipped for it, but seriously, it doesn't
Draw
make
a line
sense.
somewhere.
It doesn't make sense.
You're right. The mailbox story was a lot better.
Yep.
I'm glad you
I
told
just-
the mailbox story.
I gotta say, I'm amazed at how composed you were about the mailbox. When told that a policeman had delivered it to your house, your response was, "Okay," and then you just went on about your business. I gotta say,
It was
it's
more
pretty-
like, I don't know. I can't be mad at anybody. I don't know what happened.
right.
Wow, we're so different.
I know. I think
The man you
I
see
would have
drawing,
started asking some questions.
man you see drawing is our buddy Dan Cassidy, who is joining us for the first time. Welcome.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thank you,
Thanks for already blowing over an hour with us.
Todd. No problem. Yep. Hey, this is cool. I'm glad I was finally able to make it on. So hopefully I can do this a little more in the future.
We should mention that Dan is also responsible for our avatars that you can see on Todd and my.
Yeah, you see Ray's here
Lower
and
third,
mine
I
is
guess.
here, and we absolutely love those, and we're excited to see more. Just awesome artwork.
Cool.
You can go to Nightfall Unlimited, the website, and go to his About page under the About panel, and there's a couple other ones on there too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm working on the other artist for Nightfall Unlimited right now, Jane Bush. I'm working on her avatar right now too, so hopefully I'll have that up soon on the site.
And you can see a preview right there, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, hey, I'll try. I might jump it up on the screen every once in a while. Even kind
Is
of.
that her? Is that hers?
Yeah, this is her that I'm messing with
Oh.
right now, and I'm just kind of running through some ideas at the moment.
Cool. So, and I guess I'll tell a quick personal story. I won some free concept art on Twitter.
Yeah.
I didn't really mention this to anybody, but I put up a quick post last night. There was a guy, like I'm always saying, I hook up with all the game dev people and app dev stuff that I can on Twitter. And this guy was like, hey, my 200th follower, I'm going to do some concept art for him, just whatever they want. So, follow me now. And I actually thought, like, that he was at like 196. I'm like, actually, that doesn't make sense for gaining followers because no one's going to touch anything until they see 199. So I just told him, like, hey, man, maybe a random name would work better in like 12 hours, something like that. But I really like your work, so I'm going to go ahead and follow you now. And 197 is great. And he followed me back. And okay, thanks for the follow. Great.
That's pretty awesome.
And then he's like, you know what? You're right, actually. So everyone follow me. And later today, I'll pick a random follower and give them the concept art. I don't know what happened in the meantime, but I won the drawing. So
Yeah.
And in the end, isn't that all that really matters?
maybe that was legitimately random, or maybe that was like a thank you for the new followers. But so that's going to be coming up courtesy of @Bits and Crafts. So I'm looking forward to seeing something. He does just awesome pixel art. So we'll see what that comes out like.
I was
So-
followed randomly by a band this week, yesterday, actually. Zebrahead?
Zebrahead.
Is that
Zebrahead.
like a Volkswagen
So-
van, or
I don't. A band.
how'd you spot them?
So
A van, not a van.
a band. Yeah. Anyway,
No.
That's
so
funny.
I don't know why they followed me. All I know, the only thing I really tweeted about was the bacon wrapped pizza from Little Caesars.
Good enough.
So, and that does get my seal of approval. So everyone should try the bacon wrap pizza from Little Caesars. But so I went and listened to this band's music, and they sound like every generic punk band you've ever heard. So if you like generic punk, it doesn't sound terrible. They're not bad. But if you want to listen to generic punk music, go check out Zebrahead.
It's the most backhanded plug I've ever heard.
I was also followed by the Zebrahead, so...
If you got nothing better to do and like generic punk music, please check out our newest band.
It's a niche, right?
Well, maybe we better jump right into the stuff we're good at so we stop offending people. First on my list is TV stuff, and the first thing in that category is Josh pointed out there's a Friday the 13th TV series coming up. Is that right?
That is what they say. And they're trying to get it developed. I think they pitched it to CW. I got to pull up the link.
CW? That wouldn't have been my guess. That's interesting.
Well, if anybody picks it up, it'll be CW.
Interesting. Let's
see here. It will take place at the real Crystal Lake. Jason
Which one? There's a lot of real Crystal Lakes.
Yeah, that's by the quotes. The real Crystal Lake. Jason won't be the only killer. This is according to Cinema Blend. And the CW has confirmed interest in picking up the show.
Confirmed interest. Okay.
So kind of putting feelers out there, see what kind of reactions.
Yeah, this is actually kind of old news, but they've been talking about this for almost a year now.
Yeah, for some reason people are just picking it up. I don't know if maybe that interest was.
Well, I think because there were just like new details came out about it.
It was because of the CW has interest in it. That's the newest part of the whole thing. But yeah, they've been talking about this for a year. Along with a new movie that they want to come out next year, and then they won't have nothing to do with them. One of them was going to be found footage. Speaking of found footage, not a big fan.
I'm just not knowledgeable on that topic.
Yeah, well, somebody asked about it.
I knew what they were talking about.
It has its place. I thought District 9 was good.
Yeah, that's one of the examples they bring up, like on the Wikipedia page for it.
But for the most part, I agree that they're kind of janky.
Yeah, the Paranormal Activity movies are probably the well known. That's really found footage. District 9 wasn't completely found footage.
That was more of a mockumentary, I would say.
Yeah, like The Office.
Docudrama. We'll go with that.
Fair enough. The other TV item is Ray brought up the rumor of a new live-action Star Wars series.
Yeah, and when I was at Celebration 3 in 2005, George Lucas was actually there, and he announced that there was going to be a live-action Star Wars series in 2005. And
right, I remember that.
It never happened. And then, of course, he sells it to Disney, and, I mean, they've got Star Wars Rebels, 5 movies coming out in the next 5 years, and now why not a show?
Well, if I remember correctly, when George Lucas originally brought up the idea, it was supposed to span between Episode 4 and Episode 3 and Episode 4.
Yeah, Episodes 3 and 4.
I would hope that they would still stick with that plan. That's when I'd want it to be.
I want something different.
It really seems to me that Star Wars is just becoming like... How to explain this? Whatever you want to do, read something, watch something, go to the movies, it's just going to be Star Wars when you get there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like...
I don't know if that's a fair assessment or different.
You're going to get what you pay for?
Yeah.
Star Wars.
I'm looking forward to any kind of Star Wars content, so I'm just trying to take it, for what it is till it is. I'm one of those movie watchers. I don't go in with a lot of expectations, really. I just kind of go in to be entertained in whatever way. So as long as it's not just mindless or something to that effect, unless it's good action, then I don't care. But yeah, so I'm hoping maybe against hope. We'll see.
Yeah, to be fair, I'll check all this stuff out, and probably one or two things I'll get real caught up in. But I kind of like Star Wars enough that I'd like to keep up on all of it, and I don't know that that's possible for me because there's a lot of stuff coming up. I guess things get canceled and pushed back and moved around.
There's so much stuff they're getting ready to flood the market with before the new movie comes out because they're starting the book series first book is called Aftermath that takes place after Return of the Jedi since they're creating a whole new canon, and then Marvel Comics has their new comic line started, that's supposed to take place between 4 and 5. So there's all kinds of Star Wars stuff coming out. Good time to be a Star Wars fan, unless you're somebody who is very upset that they get rid of the old canon and made it Legends, which used to be me. But
I was gonna say, is that you?
no, I'm fine now. I'm okay. It's still there. They're not taking all my books and burning them. So.
Well, I like your attitude on that.
Yeah. Hey, Knights of the Old Republic's still there.
That's true. Yeah. I still haven't got through the whole series.
Or as Josh says, Coder.
Coder.
KOTOR.
I mean,
It's KOTOR.
it was essentially happening anyway with the books and things. It was, authors were given the opportunity or took the opportunity to change what they didn't like or ignore it anyway, even the way it was being run. That wasn't like they were holding to a real strong canon anyway.
Yeah, well, everything else has a different, parallel universes and stuff. Why can't Star Wars? That's the way I look at it.
As long as it's fun, entertaining.
Fair enough. Maybe we should skip ahead to movies since we're already on TV. And Ray, since we're on Star Wars, tell me more about the character tournament. What is this?
Oh, this is madness?
Yeah.
No, this literally is madness.
Well, but that's also what they call it. So.
Yeah, well, everybody knows about March Madness and basketball, NCAA tournament. Well, a couple of local radio stations are doing something like that, like a battle of the bands, and then Star Wars is doing something. They've done it for like 3 years, I think, where they pit all different kinds of characters in different categories. There it is. And first of all, they had play-in matches, and Luke Skywalker, who Star Wars is originally about, got voted out, and Ahsoka Tano won. That really made me mad. But yeah, there's the bracket. You can see there's all kinds of good stuff. You can go daily and vote. And I posted a link to it on nightfallunlimited.com, which is working again, by the way. And it's pretty cool. I've been checking it right now. I mean, like every day, keeping up with it, keeping up with who's winning and who's losing. Right now, I think Jango Fett's beating Greedo, and Yoda's beating Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon should have been the play-in, not Luke, if you ask me. I think people are going to be upset. Well, I'm upset about Luke.
No one's upset, yeah.
Yeah. But my picks, Obi-Wan in the final versus Darth Vader. And Darth Vader will win. That's what I think. Obi-Wan won last year.
And to be clear, is this just a favorites vote?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And does anything come of the winner, or it's just that's the?
They're the master of all Star Wars. I don't know. No, I just think it's just for fun.
It's the American Idol of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Recording contract and then never be heard from again.
Right.
It seems like they've kind of went off the wall with all of these with everyone piggybacking off of March Madness. You have a tournament for everything now.
There are a lot of madnesses. That's true.
Tournament of hockey logos, and which was awesome the first time it happened, and now it's kind of stupid. And
well, you got to keep it fresh every year. That's part of the problem is you got to keep it fresh. If you're putting the same old stuff, like Star Wars, they were able to add new characters this year. And the KC95 local radio station has their it's March Bandness, I think is what they call it. They added some different bands this year. You got to keep it fresh. Hockey logos. If you're talking about like old school, new school stuff, or just regular hockey logos, that'd be kind of boring. Like hockey itself.
Uh-oh.
I think Ray is really just trying to push my buttons today.
Well, he's succeeding too, though.
Took a jab at Bare Naked Ladies earlier, and now he's taking a jab at hockey. Man,
you're lucky. I didn't say anything about it on the podcast. I almost did when you were talking about a band that's music all sounds the same. Zebrahead. I was going to say the same thing I said in the text.
Well, that actually doesn't bother me because it's not at all true with Bare Naked Ladies.
How about this? I'd rather listen to Nickelback than Bare Naked Ladies.
Now that's just asinine. And I like Nickelback.
I can't help it that you have bad taste in music.
Oh, I don't like Nickelback. I just said I'd rather listen to them. Both are ear-piercing, if you ask me. Terrible music. But anyway, back to movies.
Ironically, if you took a jab at his beloved Ghostbusters, right now he would probably agree with you.
You know what? I just... Fuck it.
Whoa.
Yikes.
The language.
I don't know.
is so harsh.
I don't know what else to say. It's.
Hey,
So,
Josh,
let's harness
Ghostbusters is still there. The
Let's
old
harness
stuff.
your energy and get into it, though, Josh. Let's talk about the news.
Well, okay. Here goes my night. You sure you don't want to do a dance thing first so that we don't run out of time? No, so now Sony, in their infinite wisdom, has added another Ghostbusters film to their agenda that they are making at the same time as the all-female Ghostbusters.
Right.
This one will be all-male. Now, why can't we just combine the two and have one decent Ghostbusters movie? You can have two guys, you can have two chicks. I mean, that would be fine, right? Two girls, two guys, let's do it.
Apparently a mixed movie was unpopular. I didn't realize.
Right. So, no, now we got one with four male characters, and the star of this movie is going to be Channing Tatum.
That's the part that drove me nuts.
Now,
Wait, are you sure that's not the female movie? Hold on.
now someone tried to sell me on Channing Tatum as a Ghostbuster. And I'm sorry, I am just not a fan.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
I can't dig that.
Maybe I haven't seen him in the right movies, but I'm not a fan.
I must be the only person on Earth who has no problem with him.
Probably.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
One thing I do actually like about this other movie is that it's got Joe and Anthony Russo, who helmed Captain America: The Winter Soldier,
Right.
directing and producing it. So
Yeah,
there is some hope.
I think it could be a really good movie. I don't think Channing Tatum's going to kill it.
No, not like Melissa McCarthy.
I hate pulling out individuals in this battle. I just don't like it. I don't like the direction all of it's going. This does follow right in line with the rumors that Dan Aykroyd was trying to get a whole Ghostbusters universe going, but he's just really jamming it all home at once.
Well, I'm fine with the whole Ghostbusters universe. It sounds great to me. It sounds like a great concept. But do it right.
Yep.
Have a headquarters in New York and
franchises
over in
sprinkled
LA.
throughout. Fine. Do it right, though. Whatever.
They're trying to do that with everything these days, trying to make shared universes.
Yeah, when I first heard this, I brought up that they're kind of turning this all into a giant Saw movie where you can choose which way you want to die.
It's a very apt description. When did being a Ghostbusters fan become a frickin' Saw movie?
Well, surely, I don't know. It's almost too hard to comment. Maybe this Channing Tatum one will be okay. Maybe it'll surprise me.
There was one other actor. Oh, it was Chris Pratt. Was said to be involved
I saw
too.
something about that, but it was dated like December of last year, and now I'm only seeing his name.
Well, let's just say Chris Pratt's going to get overexposed soon.
I think you're right.
Yep.
Channing Tatum overexposes himself all the time. So.
You know who I think would be great in a Ghostbusters movie? Chris Evans.
Oh yeah, I'd watch that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but he's not going to make much after Captain America, he said.
Yeah,
After he's
he
done with
doesn't
his
have
contract.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. I think we should put him in there too. You can't have a movie without Ryan Reynolds.
Why?
Maybe Robert Downey's not too busy. It's up to him.
Right.
Let's just get the Avengers and put them in a Ghostbusters movie.
How about
The Avengers plus Ryan Reynolds. Let's do it.
I'd like to see Bill Murray in a Ghostbusters movie again.
Right. I would love to see Bill Murray get involved, but he doesn't seem on board. So.
Did anybody see that Dan Aykroyd is rumored to be in the female Ghostbuster film?
Oh.
Did you see that, Josh?
Did not see that.
That'd be one more small reason to see it. That'd be cool.
Well, I'm going to see it because I'm a big enough Ghostbusters fan that I'm shut up, take my money. But,
Well, supposedly he's playing the part of Melissa McCarthy's stomach. So.
What?
No, I'm joking. But
I don't know where the joke starts.
There is a rumor out there that I read that he's supposed to be in the movie. I don't know in what capacity, but.
Well, if he plays anyone other than Ray Stantz, they will have failed.
I'm pretty sure that it won't be Ray Stantz. It'll probably maybe Melissa McCarthy will be his daughter. No.
Yeah, maybe.
Got the same physique.
Now.
And then and Vince Vaughn, of course, they have to get Vince Vaughn in there. I think it's
Vince
time.
Vaughn, I didn't think
Who
of that.
knows
That's true.
his-
Well, if you do that, then you got to have Luke Wilson and
Right.
I'm out.
There you go.
Yeah, but maybe
David
if we
Spade.
get all those people, maybe we can get Jackie Chan in on it.
What's he gonna do? Roundhouse kick the ghost in the head?
Look, you got to have the full spectrum.
Whatever he
of,
wants is what he's gonna do.
nationalities.
We could just have an Expendables Ghostbusters movie then.
The brawl, the brawl
David
to end them
Spade
all.
and
Wait,
Jackie
we're,
Chan versus Gozer.
The Ghostbustables.
right, and then I think, and then of course, we got to get Denzel Washington, and you got to get one more, person in there so that they can sell a Funko car when that happens. So,
Oh my God!
Oh
one
my
more-
god.
That's right. I know. We're doing the controversy episode, right? So that's no, I mean,
Mike Myers.
it's yeah. Oh yeah, Mike Myers. that'd be
Mike
good.
Myers, yeah. Okay.
Dana Carvey, who now we do SNL people.
Adam Sandler.
Alan Baldwin.
Jimmy Fallon.
Hey,
Yeah.
and
Oh
the
yeah,
ghost can
Chris
be
Rock.
the ghost can be Chris Farley.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Well, that's kind of funny because Slimer was based on John Belushi.
John Belushi, that's right.
Yeah. So it could be the same way.
Maybe
Speaking of
we
Adam
should
Sandler,
move
by the
Look, if
way.
this doesn't get made, I really think we should get together with.
this is
Legos.
already better than an all-female
stop
Ghostbusters
motion.
and an
Or,
all-male
or,
Ghostbusters.
or the Channing Tatum Ghostbusters.
Yeah, we
Right.
can at least animate this.
That's right.
Fan fiction all the way.
I can take a turn at being the bad guy if everybody wants, because we can talk about the Mallrats sequel coming up.
You're gonna say you don't like Mallrats.
Yes, I am. Okay, we've been through all this before. I am not a fan of Kevin Smith's anything. I can't help it. It's not super personal. I just don't happen to like anything he does. So, and now, of course, this article brings up that he's making it to honor his deceased friend, so that doesn't
I
help
don't
my
care why
case.
he's making it. Mallrats 2 is way overdue.
I don't know why they would make them all rats too. I mean, seriously, I was talking to my brother-in-law about this. I love Mallrats, really, I do. But what are we gonna have, a 40-year-old Brody with his little cup of Coke? I mean, seriously, he owns a comic book shop to hang out at now. Doesn't need to be going to the mall.
Maybe.
You have Ben Affleck back in it. Get the whole cast. Is Trisha gonna be doing her, another copy of her book, the sequel, Orgasm 2? Stan Lee gonna make an appearance?
Yeah, I mean, Stan Lee's still around. I'm a big fan of Jason Lee. That's about the nicest thing I can say.
Yeah, I like Jason. I liked him till that My Name Is Earl show.
You didn't like My Name Is Earl?
Oh man, I love
Nope,
that.
didn't like it.
That show a lot. I'm a big fan of that.
Well, I'm glad you guys like it. I don't.
Fair enough.
Well,
Actually,
but since most malls are bankrupt and perfect examples of urban decay, maybe it's just a big empty mall and they just hang out inside of it. And they bought it at a real cheap price.
Maybe it's a sequel to Dawn of the Dead.
15,000 square feet.
Jay and Silent Bob are homeless and hanging out in the mall.
that could actually be cool if it was like an abandoned mall. That'd be neat.
That would be nice. Throw in
Could
some
bring-
zombies.
If Mr. Spinning's back and it's just about him, that'd be fine.
Oh,
I'm a big Michael Rooker fan, so I'm okay with Mr. Spinning coming back.
I just don't see where they're going to go with it unless it's a completely new cast, because
I'm the same
everybody
way.
in it's in their 40s now. Are they gonna have a new
Maybe
dating show?
Maybe it'll be one of those sponsor the new age kind of thing, like we were the old Mallrats, you're the new Mallrats. Look how awkward everything is. Two generations come together.
Passing the unemployed torch.
Yeah, that'll be something. They'll just play on that usual
And you
thing.
guys are such losers. You're 40 and you still hang out in a frickin' mall.
They're at that point. They would need to explain in the story why people this age were in fact Mallrats. I don't know.
Or maybe it's an outdoor mall, like all these.
Like the dirt mall?
It's not. Yeah, it's just like one of the. You have Maurice's and like Old Navy, and it's all outdoors. You don't actually. It doesn't take place inside a mall.
Yeah. This
Maybe they explain the whole Kevin Smith VSQ universe takes place in the mall, but nobody knows it. I don't know. I give up.
all I can say is I'm not going to find out. This won't be
Pixels.
something I'll like. Well, I'll give it a chance.
Agreed. Yeah. No.
What about Pixels?
I don't know. I just saw it on the list.
That was the next thing to talk about, so we may as well.
That's a neat preview.
Yeah, this is one of the few things we were like deeply divided on. So who wants to start with their ideas about this?
I saw the trailer today, and it looks like a movie.
Yeah.
It looks okay. I don't know what to really say about it. I'm not going to bash it. Most of everything that Adam Sandler's done in the last 5 to 10 years has been pretty awful.
See, and that's one of the reasons I like it, is because it's literally the first Adam Sandler trailer that's made me laugh in probably about 10 years.
It definitely looks intriguing. I'll go see it. So
I probably won't go see it in theaters. I just don't have that kind of time anymore. So only the really, really top-notch movies will I go see in theaters.
Right.
But now, one criticism that I've seen that is absolutely warranted is it's a blatant ripoff of a Futurama episode.
I've seen that.
Yep, I saw that as well.
And they're right, but hey, you know what? They're making 2 new Ghostbusters movies. Everything in Hollywood's a ripoff now.
Right.
Well, there are no original thoughts anymore, apparently.
No original thoughts anymore.
I guess. My thoughts are this. I think it's going to rely heavily, of course, on the CG. From the trailer, that looks like it was well done. It seems like it'll be fun to just stare at, and that's an area where Adam Sandler's movies, could excel because you're not thinking too hard. I'll admit Kevin James was a little much in the trailer. Like, oh well, there's Kevin James saving the world. I don't know.
Right.
Now I'll say this at the end of the trailer, where they had Pac-Man and the version of Pac-Man's creator. that I finally started laughing. I thought, okay, that's pretty funny.
But unfortunately, that version of Pac-Man didn't exist yet with the eyes and everything. Pac-Man was just a round circle whenever they sent the video game up, technically.
That's true. You're right about that.
I did like one of the things I did like was like when they showed Donkey Kong and all that stuff, how they actually like made the characters look like the video game kind of. That's kind of cool. I think this one's going to hit on people's nostalgia more than anything, and that's probably what's going to draw people to the box office.
Yeah, it's just the Wreck-It Ralph formula. They're just going to.
Oh yeah.
Everybody. Although Wreck-It Ralph was a good movie. I mean, so. I can't use that as my exact example, but it's one of those things where it's like a no-brainer. It'll get a certain amount of audience, so why not spend $30 million or $80 million or $120, whatever they're going to spend to make it with all the special effects.
It's probably like $250 million, like Avengers or something like that.
It's probably a lot. One thing.
It'll be a popcorner, though. You take the kids. If it's Adam Sandler, there's a certain amount of trust with that, and as long as they don't play it up too much in the previews, it'll do its thing.
110 million.
110. Yes, that's pretty low budget for. Yeah.
One thing everybody agreed on was this movie is going to have some of the most beautiful posters that we have ever seen. Here's Pac-Man gobbling up the city. Donkey Kong, that's awesome. Space Invaders over France, great. Yeah, Centipede. It's all very cool.
A lot of good Photoshop and people pandering to the pixel generation.
Also, Peter Dinklage is in it, and let's be honest, who doesn't like Peter Dinklage?
That's true. That's a big draw as well. Except now you're nervous about bringing your kids, maybe. But
well, Peter Dinklage also, I think he's starting to get overplayed.
Yeah, he's starting to Chris Pratt himself.
Yeah. Oh God, Chris Pratt. Poor guy.
Chris Pratt is a verb now?
It is now. But I'll say this, Chris Pratt has not annoyed me yet. So he's a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anybody else I'd be getting sick of. Not him just yet. So we'll see.
Cool.
Go backwards, talk about the big Batgirl comic cover controversy. What do you say? What do you think, Ray?
Sure.
Okay.
What?
This was Dan's topic here.
Okay, you guys.
Okay. Now, I thought we were on the same point on this, but I think so. So, at least a little bit. See how you feel about this. Okay. I think reading through just a handful of the blogs and seeing some of the Facebook coverage on it, it seems like a whole lot to do about a whole lot of nothing by people who. The ones that like really are against it don't seem to have a lot of background knowledge on Batman, the Killing Joke, Barbara Gordon, her relationship with the Joker, that she has an ongoing fear of that character. That's just how it is. But the cover itself, saying that it was implying rape or something to that effect, Man, anybody who's being held by the Joker in some isolated location, getting blood smeared across their face, in that DC universe, we're going to pretend we're in there, okay, is going to be fearful. So it has nothing to do with her as a female character.
Todd, do you have a picture of that poster up? Because
what I've got is this article. I don't know if they actually posted the cover or not.
yeah, because I was going to say that's from.
There it is,
there
right
it is.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so it's, there's a whole lot of everybody kind of throwing in ideas that there's representation and things. Those
who don't understand may not understand that even with the costume, Dan, he's wearing basically the same thing he did when he shot her if people know The Killing Joke, maybe that's why, because of what he did after he shot her. Do you remember what he did after he shot her in the book?
Yeah, right. He took photos and things.
Yeah, he took nude photos of her.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it's in poor taste.
Right. Yeah. I think a lot of the controversy here is, and this is sort of strange because you have to have a little background on it to be upset about it.
Right.
But if you have that background, you have more of the context of what it was, so it should seem a little bit less intense to you.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, most of what I'm seeing as far as opinions, people, they just thrown in 2 cents trying to make it about an issue that it's not. I think it was a great cover, a great piece of artwork.
I agree.
Yeah, exactly. Joker in the Hawaiian shirt, in that pose, and the gloves and the hat and all that kind of stuff. It's not the first time you've seen that outfit used in other types of product or medium about the Joker. It's a very popular, iconic kind of poser, just like a smiling fish.
Well, and literally, I saw that picture, and I was immediately intrigued by that comic. I want to read that.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great if we could go back to the times where stories were that good, okay, instead of what we've been dealing with for a while now. So, I mean, I'm not talking in Batman, let me just make clear, because Capullo and Snyder are, to me, the strongest storytellers.
Look at my screen if you can. That's where can you guys see it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's where it came from, The Killing Joke.
Right. And what was done to that? The whole point of taking pictures and things like that, he uses those photos later in the story to traumatize James Gordon, because what he's trying to do is show that anybody can be broken given the right circumstances.
In the Tunnel of Love.
Yeah, and I don't want to be spoiler. Don't want to give away too much. It's a great story, art by Brian Boland. I never pay attention to writers. My thing.
Oh, come on, Dan.
So,
Alan Moore.
Yeah, I know.
It's Alan Moore.
I don't want to give him any publicity that he, doesn't already have. So, it's a great story. Everybody's doing themselves a disservice if they don't take the time to read it. And I just think it was one of those things.
Yeah, there you go.
People use.
I suggest reading The Killing Joke.
I sure do. And whatever this new comic is, I suggest reading it because
I think it's
being led by Scott Snyder. Yeah, and that's the best DC title running right now and has been ever since 52.
I think the comic is Batgirl Endgame, which ties into the Batman Endgame, and that is already out. So it came out today. So, and the cover's not that great.
Yeah, the replacement cover.
Yeah, they did already. So.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect.
I think my theory on a lot of that controversy is that you guys kind of got some spillover from a lot of this new gaming, self-righteous indignation, and the gaming sites pick this stuff up to cover comics as well. But the new thing in gaming is we find any sentence that sounds bad. EA made a game featuring a scene where this happened to this person, and everyone loses their minds. So, with no context, no other information, now we're threatening people on Twitter, and protesting this and that with either no background or we're willfully ignoring the background. And I that's what I see here, basically.
And I'm going to try to keep my societal commentary to a minimum here, but it's one of those things where everyone's trying to be PC about everything,
right,
and make an issue out of everything. And 9 times out of 10, I'm sorry, that issue does not exist. Okay, that was a great cover.
Right.
The Joker is insane, and he was terrorizing Batgirl.
Right.
That's
exactly
what it was.
That cover conveys.
Yep.
Anyone who's trying to delve in, it implies rape or whatever, you're picking things out of your own little brain.
Right.
That's
And
just my
probably
thoughts.
based off not even knowing much about where it's derived from. So.
Right.
But DC, I mean, yeah, it's all about IP management and stuff. DC, they've done their thing and retracted it, and the artist has come out and stated that he wanted it retracted. A lot of people going to that, going, even the artist didn't like it. But you know what? The guy's got to get paid. He's got to have a career. He can't be silly about it. And a good thing is, there's a lot of outpouring. Everybody's letting him know. As a piece of art, they really think it was pretty cool.
This isn't the first time either.
It's business,
Do you remember last year they had a Harley Quinn cover they had to pull where she was in a tub with a bunch of electronics like toasters and stuff, and they pulled that because it promoted suicide apparently. So.
Yeah. I mean, how long ago was it when Batwoman was, you had the whole lesbian.
That was like 2008 or 9.
And it's just one of those double-edged swords where you don't want people. They say that the comics are geared towards kids, which is a misnomer to begin with, because you have a product that's geared towards a kids market. That's not true. It never has been. Like the main, what is it, 18 to 35? That's really the zone comics were always kind of written for. People who don't understand them assuming, comics are for kids, cartoons are for kids. Well, 50 years ago, when that assumption might have been halfway true, okay, fine, but that's not the case anymore. Comics have really evolved as a storytelling medium and an art form.
So this runs perfectly parallel to the game industry.
Look, all I'm going to say is sometimes you need to embrace the darker side, and I think that's one of the things here. But hey, controversy sells. So
yeah, exactly. That's it. You're right.
Well, like you said, Josh, it's like it's funny because we've come as a society. I will make societal commentary. we've come from a place where we would joke on sitcoms about like, oh, these characters are going to perfectly follow the law all day, every day, and find out that they went insane because they couldn't do it because you can't speed, you can't roll through a stop sign. Like, oh, you went too fast. Now pull yourself over and write yourself a ticket. But that's how we're acting now. Now it's like you said something mean to men or mean to women or children or animals or we can't be ourselves anymore. And maybe there are some tiny inherent flaws in the way we think, but by and large, people are pretty good. And what else can you do?
Yeah.
So,
and we're so concerned about exposing children to topics, like this. And the thing is okay, the people, the side of the conversation that says this represents rape, it weakens the position of females in the superhero market and things like that, female characters. I think they're really looking at it very short-sighted, I think. I mean, not to get too serious, but hey, rape is a real deal. Stats are like 1 in 3, 1 in 4 women, deal with that by certain ages. I mean, I know these stats to be true.
Sure.
So, like, based on information that's public, and somebody out there probably pull something up and argue with me. I don't care. Just so you know, it's my opinion, and then, I'm entitled to it. So, and I just think that, like you said, it's more about controversy. It's more about Hollywood having something to write about and getting people charged up. So I thought it would be fun if we brought it up and got a chance to throw our opinion out there like everybody else.
Well, we had to cut Dan's mic. We apologize for his commentary.
That's right.
So,
and I'm not coming back, right? I've been uninvited. Bling.
no, I don't think we should shy away from our thoughts on things like this because it impacts everybody. So
Promote art, ban censorship. Yeah. There is no comics code. What are we arguing about? When New 52 came out, right, and Batman and Catwoman were making out in her first issue, and back on the last page, you had a little hoo-ha and all this kind of stuff, but
Is the light on?
it is what it is. That's what they wanted at the time, was to see Batman and Catwoman kick it up a notch, right? So, now it's cool to say that that's not nice and that makes women look bad and things like that. I don't know.
sure.
I was just thinking, do you think they may have actually planted this as a selling technique?
Yeah, do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
exactly.
controversy
probably
does sell.
Right. That's right. So
I think there's a lot of blowback for stuff like this where they think there'll be a little controversy and actually it just spins into the sun.
Yeah.
It's absolutely nuts.
I don't see, because you piss off two different demographics. You piss off the PC police when they see the cover, okay, and that immediately, no matter what, is going to make them say, "Well, I'm not reading the story, even if they do the right thing." It's the Xbox One effect, where Xbox One announced where Microsoft announced all of those new features for Xbox and pushed gamers away because of them. But at the same time, DC's going to piss off the hardcore comic people when they pull that cover.
Yeah.
So
That didn't make me mad.
so far they've been showing that they're not too worried about the hardcore comic fan.
Yeah, it's out there. People can see it. I don't think people are going to get too pissed off.
Yeah, I think
some of the sites I've read, you'd be surprised. But
yeah, I've seen
maybe the hardcore comic people wasn't the right thing, but you're going to piss off some of the comic fans.
Yeah, it's getting tied closer to the movement to try to increase the feminine presence in the comic business, and get more of the great female artist things out there. Make sure they're getting whatever paid the same, treated the same opportunities. Which is a great cause. That's a great thing to try to promote. And not in some kind of like equal opportunity kind of way, so much as ensuring that there are no lost opportunities. So I think the comic business is better for it. There are a lot of great female artists and writers that out there that may have not had chances before, but I think it's just one of the many wrong things that got tied to a topic like that.
I want to try to express this correctly. Dan can share his thoughts and draw at the same time better than I can do either of those things alone.
Ditto.
Well,
Yes.
Can y'all see this? Can y'all see the screen?
I see it pretty well, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I mean, I don't know if she's actually going to like this. Jane, let me actually say, if you're watching this and you don't like this, please contact me via Twitter or whatever.
I was working on my art. Oh, that's great.
Right. I'm trying to make sure I put a gun in your hand, and I'm going to have you eating a piece of beef jerky to kind of make it look tougher. If that's not what you'd like, let me know.
Just don't put any clouds between your legs.
Right.
Oh, call back to some former controversy.
Right. So,
Can we get a closer look at what you got going on there?
Yeah, let's see. And again, this may change. This depends Jane's approval, of anything. I'm trying to get something going, and just have a little fun with it. She may change her mind. Okay, so let's see. See if I can screen share. Blah blah blah. This. All right. I don't think it's gonna let me. It's gonna let me do it, is it? Nope. It's not wanting to share the right screen.
Something's happening.
No, didn't work. Okay, so for some reason Hangouts didn't work right on Chrome. Isn't that funny? So anyway.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there it is.
That's a little bit. So I'll probably make the skirt longer and maybe bring the socks up higher above her knees.
One thing I might want to suggest for Jane, maybe do the ET thing and take the paintbrush out of her hand and put a walkie-talkie in there just in case.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, I'm just joking. Did anybody know about that when they re-released ET in 2002? I think it was. They took the guns out of their hands and put walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Right. So, she wanted to be painting. She wanted to do it. And let me tell you, my thought process went no further than I like Bob Ross, and I have a snapshot of Bob Ross, holding out his paintbrush and smiling, and it's in that PBS YouTube montage.
Nice.
Every day it's a good day when you paint. Yeah, and so that's what this is about. I'm not feminizing anybody or anything.
No, I understand art better at this moment than I ever have before.
Yeah, more than you ever wanted to hear about.
No, that's awesome.
That's because clouds are happy.
That's right, happy clouds. That's funny you see that too. I was going to put some mountains and clouds.
Just keep those clouds away from her legs.
I'll get with it. Yeah.
People kind of have to know that story, Ray, and we probably won't go into that.
It's very easy. We had another contributor that was having an avatar drawn up, and she wasn't very happy with the placement of some clouds on her avatar picture, which
was completely accidental, and I get
Yeah.
it now. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of those kind of things, right?
Yeah, it's one of those.
it looks
Oh, yeah.
the picture itself looks great, but
Yeah,
she
I
just
like it.
wasn't happy with it.
Yeah. So I fixed it. I mean, I adjusted it and things, and so and in the end, I think she took on some other projects anyway, so it didn't end up being an issue. So
Yeah. Well, let's hammer out some game talk.
yeah.
Lego Jurassic World. Who brought that up? Was that Josh?
That was me. I just saw it. And, I mean, Jurassic Park in a Lego game? That sounds awesome to me. That sounds like a game I want to play.
Yeah, that's super awesome. I will play this. Here's the thing: I could play any of the Lego games. I love them all.
Yep.
Awesome for kids. Awesome for friends sitting around on the couch. And who doesn't love Jurassic Park? So
The
Yeah.
Lego games are just a blast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're perfect
Oh.
for. I mean, I know they're the type of games that my wife and kids will play, with me that, where I can't necessarily get them interested in other stuff at times.
I
I won't be playing it, just so everybody knows.
would kind of like to see them change up the formula on the Lego games.
Yeah,
Me too.
It's getting kind of stale.
just a little bit.
I'd really like to see a real open world Lego game. And I think they kind of tried to do that with Lego City Undercover, but it didn't work.
Didn't I hear?
we've talked
go
about
ahead.
that some.
Oh, I was going to say, didn't I hear something like that though? That that's what Jurassic is going to have, right? It's kind of an open world concept, a little more. You're going to be able to go around the park in more of an open world feel.
Well, the Batman games all had open world, so
Okay.
except for the first one, the second and third one both have open world. So did Lord of the Rings and The
The
Hobbit.
Lord of the Rings games, and Hobbit were really, really open.
Yeah, I didn't play the Lord of the Rings games, so
I guess
I'll
the
have to
thing
check
is,
those out.
Josh, what was the last one you played?
One of the Batman ones, maybe?
Mine was the Lego Movie, actually, and that
They
had some
have-
Actually, Lego
innovative
City
cool stuff.
Undercover would have been the last one I played.
was that on PC or?
Lego City Undercover, that was a Wii U.
That was
And
a,
the load
wasn't
times
that a
were...
launch title? Wasn't that a launch title?
Yeah, and the load times were horrendous.
Yeah.
I'm sitting
way.
there waiting 2 minutes for it to load one small level, and it's like takes me 5 minutes to beat the level, or maybe 10, and it takes 2 minutes to load. I didn't beat it because of how ridiculous the load times were. I just stopped playing. It's like, screw this.
Ray, you sounded like you had specific problems. What are your issues?
With what? With the Lego games in general?
Yeah,
Hair growth.
Oh, come on.
I didn't say side effects.
I don't know. I don't like them very much anymore. I don't like Jurassic Park, first of all, and I don't. The open worldness of the Lego games is one of the biggest problems for me because there's way too much to do, and I like the older ones that were linear, like the Star Wars Lego and the first Batman Lego, the first Indiana Jones Lego. When they started doing the open world stuff, it just got to be too much. I watched my wife and son play Batman Lego Batman 2 and 3, and it's just nauseating how much crap they had to do.
Well, for a younger audience, though,
Oh, my son is a younger audience, and he gets frustrated all the time. I think they're a little bit harder, too, now.
Yes, that's true.
But I'm sure they'll both play the Jurassic Park. Elizabeth, my wife, loves Jurassic Park.
Okay. Yeah, I did too. I was disappointed to hear you don't care for it.
Never liked it. I was really let down when I saw it in the theater because I thought it would be something different. And that's just my opinion. It just went downhill from there.
This show is
Oh yeah, 2 and 3 were
packed
terrible.
with opinions.
I even liked the Telltale game that they made, and that's an unpopular opinion, I guess, in terms of Jurassic Park games.
My wife used to play the Sega Genesis fighting game. I don't know what it's called, but she apparently was really
that
good
was
at it.
actually pretty good. I played that.
Jurassic Park fighting game?
Yeah, it was on the Genesis, I believe.
Yep.
And she used to be the Raptor. I don't know. I have to ask her
You're
again.
talking about Primal Rage?
Yeah, something like
No,
that.
she played that too, but no, there's a Jurassic Park fighting game. I'm almost certain. So I think I
Okay.
have it.
I'm embarrassed to say I did not know that.
Don't be embarrassed.
I knew about the NES game and some Super Nintendo games. I didn't.
I'm pretty sure I played it back in about 1991 or 92.
Here.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay. While you do that, Brett, you want to tell us about Life is Strange Episode 2?
What I know about it, sure. It's gonna be coming out on Episode 2 is coming out on March 24th. There's a video on GameSpot containing like 15 minutes of gameplay. I didn't watch it because I'm trying to avoid spoilers.
I'm kind of the same way when those come out.
But I'm just happy that I'm getting a present on Josh's birthday. Because, yeah. It's really all there really is that I know of. It's just, it's coming out March 24th. And there were rumors that it was going to be delayed, but that's obviously not the case.
Josh's birthday on the 24th, huh?
Yes.
True. True
That's
fact.
a big, what, 3-1?
3-0.
3-0. Oh, yeah.
3-0.
It's going to be mine later this year, too.
And what was your mother's maiden name? I'm just curious.
Club.
So hey, if you want to know, hey Todd, if you want to know, there's a game called Warpath Jurassic Park, a fighting game on PlayStation, is what it was.
PlayStation, okay.
Yeah, and also Brett Bowers, one of our contributors, wanted to say that he's completed 100% of almost every Lego game, and he said they can suck the life out of you, which is true.
Yeah, to 100% them, I think may be a little bit different. That is a big
If you
one.
ever get a chance, go look at Brett's gamer score. He's 100% of almost everything he's played.
Wow.
Wow, that's impressive.
What's
He's
his
working-
overall score? Brett, tell us your score.
Not him. Brett
Not me.
Bowers.
Yeah. No, I'm saying.
Oh.
I assume he's watching.
Yeah. Have we figured out how to get a chat going on this at the same time we're doing Hangouts?
There is a chat somewhere. I don't know where.
Yeah. If we get
That seems like something I would know. I don't know.
Start throwing the link out there or something. Yeah, cool.
I'll ask him right now. What's his gamer score? I guess he is watching though. He's working on Assassin's Creed right now. He 100% into first, second, and he's trying to do Brotherhood, but apparently there are too many multiplayer achievements.
I was just reading a bit more about Episode 2 of Life is Strange, and while the first one focused more on like introducing the characters and everything, this one's supposed to focus a lot more on the consequences that you made in the first episode. So
Interesting.
It seems like a good mechanic to highlight
Yeah.
for those that come back. Yeah.
So yay.
Speaking of good mechanics, I'm really interested in that 12-14 game,
Right. Yeah. Tell us.
which is a first-person horror game, judging by the gameplay trailer. And that's still in the very early stages of development. But basically, you connect your phone with the game, and your phone will contribute to your gameplay.
Yeah.
So you'll be in a dark room, and your phone will start buzzing. And one of the things that I think is really interesting is that even when you're done playing, your phone is still going to screw with you, because they say just because you're done playing doesn't mean the game has to be done playing with you. So
You're
you'll get
basically never
random
done
phone
playing.
calls, and yeah, seems like it's going to be pretty interesting. I will definitely be checking that out.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. Some of the comments brought up some good questions, like, will you be in a business meeting and this thing will call you to shriek at you when you answer it, or maybe just make a weird noise, How far will this go? Maybe we'll have to wait and see.
Right, there will probably have to be a way to disable it.
Yeah,
Just
one would
for-
hope.
I like the way they're thinking, though. That sounds like some really cool stuff, really using the devices, what they're best at, and kind of really adding to the atmosphere. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Right. We have a lot of really cool things going on with gaming right now,
Yeah.
as far as different types of interactivity.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here's something I didn't think to mention was on the iPhone there's a kind of a community thriller mystery game called Do Not Believe His Lies, which kind of made the news last week because the entire internet was stuck on like the second or third to last puzzle, which is very uncommon. Normally you just hammer through these things and check the internet if you got stuck. There's an entire subreddit that was trying to work on this thing. I found out last Friday night and downloaded this thing and came very, very close to being the one who solved the puzzle. It was so crazy. It gave you like a file and an audio message. People had to decrypt this thing, turn it into a PDF, which was a printout of a database, which the audio file would highlight certain records, and on and on and on.
Awesome.
And I just almost cracked it. I actually came up with the letter set that contained the answers, and the first guy who turned it around backwards and tried it was the guy who figured it out. So that was exciting. And now it looks like the last puzzle can't be solved until next New Year's Eve. So
Wow, that's
brutal.
cool.
Okay, I'm checking this out now.
Yeah,
I don't have an
look
iPhone
into it. Check out the Reddit. Check out the app if you have an iPhone. It's called Do Not Believe His Lies. And
It's free.
Yeah, it's free and it's super innovative. Like it's very interesting game development. So.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love hearing about all that. They've been, I mean, not to get too far off track or tangent, but it's kind of the during the game developer conference and things that were going on here recently. A lot of the major platforms announced, they were going free. So you've got Unity and Steam and everybody out there kind of announced that their game development platforms were going to be free to use, and that's pretty exciting. So I think we're going to see a huge surge in game development, new ideas, and it's nothing but good.
I agree, because one thing they always say about game development is that everyone has, a super unique, super innovative game inside them somewhere, and give them the chance to do it. And some of these engines are actually starting to get pretty user-friendly, and we should start seeing some very interesting stuff come out. And that's why some of the big publishers should maybe check themselves before they wreck themselves, because
That's right.
we'll just start catching more and more of this indie stuff that we just fall in love with, and suddenly we don't have so much time for Madden or Assassin's Creed or whatever, if those games aren't up to par. So
Look at you, Activision.
No, I've been
EA.
playing this lately. I don't know if you guys can get a good look at it.
is that Skate or Die?
No, that's Friday.
No, that's
the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th on the NES.
It was
Yeah.
off screen. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
I encourage
that's
everyone to
terrible.
check out Angry Video Game Nerd's review of that one. That one was
Yes.
That was one of his
That
first
was a
ones.
great
Yeah.
episode.
Nice.
Nice. So yeah, speaking of games, did you see they were talking to? Well, they've announced it a few days back. I know IGN's had some good coverage on it about Mario. About Nintendo moving into mobile platforms. About Nintendo, actually purchasing a developer in Tokyo, I think it was, and then talking about how they were going to move some of the main Nintendo IPs to mobile.
Right.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
And that's fascinating because they say they're not going to just do ports of like, Smash Bros. And one of the Zelda games you liked. Like they're going to develop unique content for smartphones, and I think that's going to be a home run. It's really going to start to hurt their hardware business, but that's already hurting, so they should embrace this.
Right.
Their console hardware business is hurting. The 3DS has never been more popular.
They rule, right?
They rule the handheld business.
Yeah,
So I don't know if I get the decision to start developing games for smartphones, but people have been wanting it, so I can't see it hurting too badly.
Well, for mobile, so I'm sure tablet first, and with the tablets, with all these new processors coming out, and the capability, it's like why bother with hardware development and things?
And hardware development has always been kind of a black hole. A lot of consoles are sold at cost or are losers as far as profit goes.
Like printers and toner, right?
All the money is made in software sales.
Yeah. So. Well, and Nintendo's, I don't know if Nintendo's actually said anything about it, but I know, like Chattersphere out there, like it's been one of those deals where it's like, hey, Nintendo, why worry about console gaming? Why not just develop your games? Because you make the best games. You they're very consistent in terms of quality.
Right.
They had their problems, right? And they were kind of slow in getting out titles that other consoles were getting out. But when it comes to Mario and Donkey Kong and all their main characters, they rule. I mean, I got the Wii U, and I was a holdout. I didn't get it during the first year, and I regret it now because now that I have it, I realize it was the most quality platform that wasn't trying to be an entertainment center. There is. I mean, that's my opinion on it.
I'm with you. I'm a very happy recent Wii U owner. I love it.
I got Wii U day one, and those first couple, I'd say probably the first 6 months were rough. There were not a lot of games coming out.
Yeah.
But now that Nintendo's got their first party games rolling out, they are really shining with the Wii U.
Oh, yeah.
Very underrated console.
Awesome.
And also my favorite way to watch YouTube videos. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, no kidding. That's how I do YouTube, Amazon. It does all my stuff. My Netflix,
right.
Everything. Because the pad is so easy to use. It's got a good web browser on it too.
Yes, it does. That's actually what I use to watch my YouTube videos because I can show those on the screen and still browse with the gamepad. So.
Yeah. If we got any listeners out there, hopefully, when the chat forums and stuff want to share their opinions or anything, or if they want to start posting on the site, tell us what they think, what they like, what they don't like about them.
Yeah, and the good news is that the order started for the Nintendo NX. They just announced, yes, we're working on a new console, and we're hoping to give you details about it next year. And some EB Games in Australia already said the NX is now available for pre-order in store.
Wow.
So they're basically saying, hey, we are at least 2 years out from releasing this, but you can pre-order now.
Right. Yeah, I'm down with it. Nintendo's never really failed all too bad. They're a little slow at the shoot, but otherwise
they're following the same path as Sega. Sega had a home console, Sega Saturn, that completely bombed. So they pretty much kind of stopped supporting it and really quickly busted out the Dreamcast, which was innovative, way before its time, and it flopped also.
Yeah.
So
you think so?
Hopefully that doesn't happen to Nintendo.
Yeah, it seems like they're getting stronger.
They're picking up momentum for sure.
Yeah.
I saw.
And I don't think they'll stop. I don't think they'll stop supporting the Wii U like Sega Saturn. So.
Oh yeah, no.
I saw somewhere that this is basically just following the timeline that most Nintendo consoles have had, where
it's probably about right.
It's about 5 years between each console.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And like Josh said, support for the Wii U isn't just going to fall off the earth.
Right.
This is still going to be a big year for the Wii U. We got Zelda U coming out.
Star Fox,
Mario Maker, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of great titles coming out. That's why I bought it when they were kind of showing what was coming here in 2015. So.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Yeah.
What other game stuff do we want to talk? Hotline Miami 2 is out. Nothing huge to that. The first one was, I just started playing it this weekend. It's everything they say it is. It's really fun to play. It's super hard. It's very violent.
It's incredibly frustrating, and it's short. The first one's really short.
The first one's short. I haven't beaten it yet, so I haven't seen whatever big hook they're planning or whatever. But it's cool. I'm glad I tried it. And I'm sure the second one's interesting.
I got Hotline. I got the second one either the day it came out or the day after it came out, and I'm on level 2 or 3, and I've been playing it quite a bit. So it's even harder than the first one.
Wow. So more news on that as we're able to actually progress in the game.
That's cool.
For lack of time, maybe we should jump ahead to, I guess we could do news or audience feedback. What do you say?
Audience feedback.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's make it interactive.
Seems pretty reasonable. We did two things for this. For fun, we told people, Microsoft said they were going to axe Internet Explorer. There's a new browser on the way. All it has is a code name right now, Project Spartan. And I asked people, what would you name Internet Explorer's replacement? So there were some funny ones in the group. Brett said Internet Explorer 1, like Xbox One, which was funny. Yeah. No, I know. Everybody was a smartass about this. Don't be confused. My buddy John said intranet. Thanks, John. My buddy Chris said Water Fox, not to be confused with Firefox. We had a Internet Dora, playing on Explorer, of course. And my friend Brian said IE featuring Connect, so he could yell stuff like IE record that, and have a clip he could upload. And all of us put this on Twitter. These were all from Facebook. Twitter, a bunch of people favorited, a bunch of people retweeted, and otherwise we had nothing. So, which is pretty normal, actually. Like, people are like, yeah, I'll retweet that. Maybe people will follow me. And I would think, I'll contribute to that. Maybe I can make some friends, whatever. No, nobody cares.
I mean...
And the other item was our buddy Jamie Kroc asked, what franchise, TV, movie, game, book had the least satisfying ending, and if you could add one more and fix it, would you?
Josh and I have the same answer right off the bat.
Mass Effect 3?
Mass Effect 3.
No, get over it already.
That crossed my mind. I figured that's a popular answer. I think a lot of people would say.
Yes, I would have another one to fix the problems.
Yes.
They are making another Mass Effect.
I am well aware. And I will be buying another Mass Effect.
Ray, what would you fix?
A lot. How about the entire Dark Knight trilogy?
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
I could see that.
We'll see.
How about the ending of Smallville? I was very disappointed with that.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
I'd like to throw in a vote for the Knights of the Old Republic series.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't really get an ending.
I went a little more obscure. There's a TV series called The Unit. Now, it's probably not a fair answer, but it was a really great military drama about the Army, featuring Dennis Haysbert, which that's a no-brainer. It was canceled between seasons, so actually it kind of dropped off. Like, one of the characters had just split up from their wives. A lot of different story development was just right in the middle of taking place, and the show was discontinued. So that's always driven me nuts. I'd love to see that corrected. The show Jericho could have used. They picked it up in comics, but that could have used an actual TV conclusion. So a lot of stuff for me is TV shows that didn't.
Yeah. How about Firefly? How about another 4 seasons of that?
It's not exactly obscure. Yeah, that's a no-brainer too for people.
I try to remember what the one was that I was. There was a show with Sam Neill where he was running like a Supermax type prison on a Alcatraz kind of island. And you can get it, I think, on Amazon right now.
Ooh. I like the sound of this.
It was really cool. It was good. Let me see.
There's too many things, if you ask me, that are disappointing when they end.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's really kind of sad, how little time, people that actually it was called Alcatraz. It was 20.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. That was a good show. Like they say, you can see the season that was made out there. It seemed like it had pretty cool direction, like where it was going. Yeah, but just that trend, Hollywood, where you kind of just can't tell anymore what they're going to commit to and what they're not going to.
That's true.
So, but yeah, anyway, IMDb's just saying, 1963, all prisoners and guards mysteriously disappear from Alcatraz. Present day, they're resurfacing, and the secret agency is tasked to capture them. So, something happened in 1963, and now all of a sudden they're showing up in present day, and there's this organization to hunt them down. So,
ooh, that sounds good.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And then it had the dude on it, that I really liked from Lost. Let me see, what was his character's name? It's been a long time since I watched it. Hugo. Hurley, basically, Hugo Hurley.
Yeah.
So he was one of the people that was in the show with Sam Neill. And That's mine.
Lost is the
Hey,
series, by the way. I know a lot of people would say they have changed Lost.
Brett Bowers wants to throw in a show called Alphas on Sci-Fi.
Oh yeah.
I've heard of that. I haven't seen it.
I think it's on Netflix, possibly.
Except you really don't want to go back and watch any of these now. They're infuriating endings.
Yeah. That's right. So yeah, that'd be fine.
I'd be curious to hear more of the. Some of my friends were starting to comment, and I didn't get to take them down in time. But this is an interesting topic for just about anybody. Everybody's got something they'd go back and change. So thanks, Jamie. That's an awesome question. People can throw us those anytime.
We should start asking a question at the beginning of the week
Let's see what answers we get.
and see what kind of, if we get any at all. But yeah, see what kind of answers we get. Put it out there to our friends. Throw it out there on our Facebook, our Twitters, and see what kind of answers we get. Like, come on to one question, because that'd be a cool topic for sure if we can have more thought. I can't, because otherwise, if I picked one thing out of everything I can think of, I couldn't even tell you offhand. You'd have to really think about it.
Yeah, topics for discussion. Yeah.
Anything else?
Are we actually done?
Hey, you know what, Josh? Yes, we are. I was waiting for Ray to complete his thought.
Can I just say one thing?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, before we go, I wanted to just congratulate Fantasy Books Inc. on purchasing and Star Clipper from St. Louis, and they're going to reopen the Star Clipper, which I didn't really like in the first place. Hopefully, Fantasy Books will fix it up and make it a good place to shop.
I like
think
Star
that's pretty
Clipper,
awesome.
Yeah, I like Star Clippers.
I was a big Star Clipper fan. Award-winning comic shop. So
Well, either way, hopefully it'll only get better.
Yeah, absolutely.
It will with Steve.
I definitely think it's going to improve with Fantasy Books.
It's going to have a new location, and I think they retain most of their staff.
Yeah,
that's
kind of the best part. Yep, they're really thinking about. So, disclaimer. I know them pretty well, Steve and Tony and everybody, the new owners, and they. I know they care about what people like, not just because that's the business. They're in it. They're in the comic market like so many of us, not necessarily because it's a big moneymaker, but because they're fans.
Yeah.
So, I know they kept a lot of the great staff that was at Twilight.
Not Twilight.
Or not Twilight, yeah, definitely not Twilight.
Twilight's a place to go.
At Star Clipper, and they did that because they're conscious of not trying to disrupt the customer.
So one thing I hope they instill in their staff is something that I've gotten at the two shops I go to, the O'Fallon location in Illinois and the Belleville location, is they know me. They get to know their customers, especially their pull customers. And I walked in, got my comics today, and I didn't even have to ask. They just had, they see me walk in, they turn their back, pull my comics out, and they're ready to go. And I really like that, So,
awesome.
Customer service is what it's all about, if you ask me. And to me, Star Clipper did not have good customer service at the time. But I haven't been there in stuff for years, though.
Every time I went into Star Clipper, I always felt really welcomed. I've always gotten good service from them.
Did you ever really go there?
Yeah.
Yeah. As an artist,
I go to Loop quite a bit, actually. Yeah. And it's not going to be in the Loop now, so I don't know that I will make a trip out to its new location just to go to Star Clipper.
Yeah.
But
I didn't have a chance to go to Star Clipper very often, but what I do know is I got a lot of friends, obviously, in the art community around here, around St. Louis, and they were very welcoming to the art community and the independent artists and things like that. They outreached and gave people real opportunity to people who were doing self-created, self-published comics. Gave them a chance to sell it and sell those comics and show up for fans and do sketches and stuff from time to time. That was pretty cool.
Cool. So a variety of viewpoints on Star Clipper, and hopefully only better with the new ownership. So for lack of time and other availability, we did a lot of great stuff with a lot of great new topics. Thanks a bunch to our buddy Dan Cassidy for joining us. Great to have you, and we hope to have you back soon. You can follow Nightfall on Facebook, Twitter. Check us out at nightfallunlimited.com. Subscribe on iTunes, and let us know what you think. Reach out, tell us what you like and what you don't like, and join us next time. So for Josh, Ray, Brett, and Dan, this is Todd. Have a good one.